he shitted on his fucking dick.
Fucking Applebee's.
Dick!
Right. Like.
Okay, so those videos are doing three things right now for me. A, I'm weak as fuck because the second one where I was like food and dick, like yelling it, has me weak. And I immediately then go into a sadness. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I think to even when you guys are looking at it and like the people who knew me during this time and family, it gave like someone who was confident, it was like okay with like being a gay boy. But what I was really feeling in those moments was fear. I most definitely created like the persona that was very outrageous and like sexual and like just like, oh ha ha, like I'm fat and I love food, like all of those things. I, like most gay boys and most people in general, were immediately shamed into this like mindset of the person that we are. Like you hide that person that, and you look around you and you find certain things that kind of give you like, oh, like that's kind of like strength and that's confidence and that's desire and that's blah. And then you like take all that and you mold into the person in order to like get to feel valuable and to have friendship and relationships or for people to not mess with you. And that was my thing, for sure. Like all of those things. Then I start to feel anger because I'm in this era right now where there are still people, even after all these years, really want to believe that that DeQuasi that I was not a DeQuasi that was made out of fear and insecurity, but was in trauma, which is based like fear, insecurity, whatever. And like that's the DeQuasi that we know, and that's who he truly is. And the DeQuasi that he is now is he's trying to be someone he's not, and blah blah blah, all these things. I am truly in an era where I'm trying to remove myself and remove the need for people to believe the person that I am today and the experiences that I've endured. I have to remind myself that I have spent the last 9 years of asking myself, what parts of me are me and what parts of me aren't me? Like what parts of me are coming from a need, like trauma or feeling insecure, feeling like I'm not enough. And as I've been doing that, I have constantly been given negative reactions to the people who have known me to be like, oh, he's trying to be someone he's not, or he thinks he's better than us. Just because I literally decided to hold myself accountable and learn about mental health and how that affects people. Things that I've always was interested in. It was just like at those young ages, I had nothing to really propel me into those focuses. There was so much put on me, like internally and just like around me, to where the focus wasn't that. The focus was just to be seen as like strong and like for people not to mess with me, to be desirable by men and to like eat a bunch of food, like and like all the comforts and like, you know, do things that I thought meant being happy and being valuable. And listen, I get it. I gave you this personality and this version of me with the intent that it would make you want to be around me and or not mess with me. And it worked. But if I am telling you, and I'm giving you real life experiences and being specific of how things have affected me and all of these things, and you are still trying to tell me that that is the real DeQuasi, or you are holding on to that DeQuasi for whatever reason. Because now I'm learning that, you know, I'm not one of those people who I just take things from social media and I just apply into my life. I actually, like, my ideology is based off of things that I've experienced in real time, and I've seen the positive or negative effect of that and how that has looked for other people around me as well. And then I base my ideology off that. And so for a little while when this was happening, it had me thinking like, oh, like, am I being someone that I'm not? Then I had to remind myself that like I've been like making sure I had that intent to shred those parts of me that aren't me. This thing that I constantly see on social media where people are like, you know, people are just used to a version of you. They're comfortable in that. The person that you are now, they can't thrive off of. It makes them feel uncomfortable for whatever reason that is. And I didn't really like, it took me a while to resonate with that. But just knowing what I know now at this moment and the reactions and all of that, that is so clear that that is what it is. That people are just used to that DeQuasi. And me being the DeQuasi that isn't super like always feeling like needing to entertain or isn't going to just be in your, isn't just going to like lock arms with you when doing something very unhealthy or toxic, like is going to hold you accountable, because I hold myself accountable, and it's a love language. It's not because I feel like I'm better than you. It's something that I've had to learn as well, and I would feel weird if I didn't at least say it once to you. A DeQuasi who dresses how he wants and is more advocating for himself. And you know, people are so used to the Quasi who's just like the gay like supporting actor who like said the one-liners. It was like, and I'm not saying fat to be rude, but I feel like this is genuinely how people were seeing me, and like just like the fat black gay guy who's just like flamboyant and all that. And now that I'm in it, and now that I'm learning to embrace, learning that I, and now that I'm learning that I even like have an energy that people have always been attracted to for whatever reason. And I'm standing in that energy, not because of those reasons, but because like I need to stand in that to not feel the ways that I felt all of my life, to feel at peace. But seeing how that has made other people feel inspired and it does gravitate people towards me, I think people aren't used to that as well. They want me to be quiet about things that I've gone through. They want me to be quiet about the things that are happening to queer people and people in general. I didn't realize how much of my environment was so toxic. Like I obviously did, but I didn't. Made me realize that is again like becoming the person that I've become. That isn't someone who's trying to be like super love light and that has my own things and I'm human and I'm okay with the rough and the vulgar and all of that. But genuinely wants to rid things that we just know globally are bad mindsets to have. But seeing the negative reaction to people who have once knew me when I was like eating terribly and like having these types of relationships with men and myself and being more violent and angry, seeing that I'm no longer doing that, it like bothers them so much. And I had to get into a point where yes, like it's a you thing, not a me thing. Like people have literally tried to say that the reason why I look the way I look now is because I'm on drugs or I'm not eating. Let me tell you guys something about having an addiction to food, which I do. Even when you go on that journey of trying to have a different relationship with food and you start to see the physical changes, mentally is where it's starting, okay? Physical and the things that come from that are just like outcomes. So I still have moments where I'm eating a lot, but I'm telling you one thing I'm never doing is eating less. I'm still eating enough, if that makes sense, right? Like, I'm never not starving myself. I love food, okay? And even though I'm realizing now that it's more about like, you know, it is fuel and it should taste good and we should, it's okay, it's a part of our culture and it's part of who we are, that's beautiful. But you know, there should be this limit and it shouldn't be used to just fill a void, which is what was happening with me. We're learning that, we're on the motions of that. But it's all of these things though, you see, like these things that aren't true that people are trying to project onto me. And instead of just being like, oh, well, maybe he really did change. Maybe this, and I think this is also an outcome of how we live in this world and how this world has made us to feel like, no, you can't ever change. And everything is surface level. So there's never going to be a person that actually is sitting with themselves in those uncomfortable moments and holding themselves accountable and holding those around them accountable. Like, that isn't a real thing. And by doing so, changing, and by doing so, shedding parts of themselves that were never theirs, and shedding the parts of them that are toxic and negative, becoming the person that they always were supposed to be, and being in a body that is theirs and that is healthy and that is able. After not being in those spaces for so long. Like, people think that that is not a real thing, that everything is just surface level and that everyone's lying about who they are and why they're doing things. I promise you, with everything in my being, that is not me. But I'm backing off. I'm going into a chapter of my life. I've done so much healing, which has drained me so much, but it was needed. Where I am in this chapter where it's time for me to laugh and live and just do whatever I want and just ha ha. In an era where I take the things that I've learned up to this moment and I just take them with me. I don't have to reanalyze them. I don't have to do anything. They're just here with me and I know them. They're a part of me. They're who I actually am and what I've actually gone through. Now is where I just grow and I heal without really even brain and leg work, if that makes sense. I feel like I've created a foundation, but it's the last thing, but I genuinely feel like the last thing is, and this is another thing that I feel like I've seen on social media, and I've kind of been like, oh, like I get that, but let me not just apply it to my life. Like, you know, I want to be able to go through experiences and then base off of that. But I truly do feel like y'all are right again, in the sense of sometimes the answer is just completely cutting yourself off from people who knew an old version of you. Because it has played such a role in me still being in certain energies that I don't want to be a part of. You know, people are used to like even like the mean versions of me. People are even used to like those more aggressive parts of me that were built out of feeling like I needed to protect myself. You know, and I think that is still them, and I don't know. I just, and it is about having your own mind, regardless of where you're at, and not letting that sway you, right? But it's also not about being in spaces where people are genuinely just not respecting who you are and trying so badly to tell you who you are. About being better than you, it's not about any of that. It's like I just know that this is just the last shackle. And it's only because you will not accept the fact that I am not the Dequasi that you know, and I was never genuinely that person. You will not allow me to fully be who I am around you, which regardless, we can be in that mindset of like, oh, you should still always be who you are, which is playing a part in hindering my growth, regardless. Having a safe place and being around people who do respect you, that doesn't always mean like telling you what you want to hear and holding you accountable. Like most definitely, yeah, holding you accountable and all that. But you know when a person they just care about you and they have true intentions, and when it's something else. And unfortunately, like literally everyone that knew me during this time, maybe two of them, excluding my mom, I love her, they gotta go. They are holding on to that Dequasi in such negative ways, and it's like a shameful, like shaming me for the person that I am, and all these things that it's like, I just can't. And I was supposed to make this video very quick, and here I am. I'm going into a chapter of living and being who I am and being around people that are okay with that person, okay? And I am floating, I'm living, I'm laughing, and I'm loving. And you just can't come with. Like, that's just what it is.